composition. So maybe that's just one of the things that AP BREN might consider. Oh, AP BREN still chose to go for blue side. They first banned the Ruby in game number 1, and that might might be the case. But no, they banned out Thermis instead. It is going to be a totally different approach now for AP BREN.
Yeah, they're going to ban out the Fairness. A little bit of a surprise right there, seeing that not walk. Normally with AP BREN, though, the way I've been noticing a kind of pattern in their banning, especially when they're second pick, but first pick, the Fairness is a little newer to me. Usually their second pick, they'll either go and, oh, I mean, they may still do it. They may ban out the R lot, maybe the Ruby as this progresses. With them having first pick, trying to get some of those prior targets that they like to focus in on. Especially, I mean, if RRQ HOSHI doesn't ban the CC, that's a great pickup for AP BREN, especially to keep up with the mobility if they decide not to ban the Benedetta. I think that'd be strong.
Yeah.
There goes the Joy, though, taken off the table, and then a staple ban that we've been seeing time and time again for majority of the teams in Game of Futures 2024. I think it's just across the board. Nobody wants that to walk. Out goes the Mathilda.
Yeah. Mathilda, maybe answered by a Nolan. Especially when the Joy is banned out, you don't want to have the Nolan in there. Novaria obviously is a problem in that regard. With this banning pattern from AP BREN, maybe they go Guinevere as their third ban, but they go Minotaur, obviously. We already talked about that. So there are two targets here for AP BREN. Either they want to go Ruby or Guinevere as their first pick, right? So those are the potential heroes for AP BREN. And whatever is left in the two heroes that we've mentioned, that will go in the favor of RRQ HOSHI. Because I don't think that RRQ HOSHI will let the Nolan out unless they have a set plan for it. But I don't think it will be the choice here for RRQ HOSHI.
I agree with you actually on that. I think the Ruby would be a strong pickup. I mean, there's not really too many heroes that can give it a hard time. And we've seen when the Ruby was slotted up against the Kufra, how much of a presence it had for AP BREN to be able to dominate, get those Diamond Finners they were looking for, and also be able to sustain. But not to mention, it's also a great flex pick, right? I mean, you can also put it in the XP lane or when all else fails, if you need to kind of adjust your composition throughout the draft. And there goes the Nolan that you kind of mentioned being a wise pickup and a wise ban for the side of RRQ HOSHI. And there it goes. The Guinevere will be slotted up.
Yep. As expected, it's the Gwyn first pick for AP BREN. They're very much happy to give the Ruby to RRQ HOSHI. And if you're RRQ HOSHI, you really cannot pass up on that pickup. So going back, they might go for the Fredrin again, but they go instantly for the Nolan. And there are little to no answers to this Nolan in the laning stage. Maybe AP BREN just brings up a Clint, actually, just so that they can outrange this Nolan. But this is such a strong pick. Now, how do you answer the Nolan? You have to go for the dive, right? For AP BREN. So you need a hero that goes with the Guinevere when it comes to diving. Like maybe a Yuzhong, a Paquito again for AP BREN.
Arlot?
Maybe an Arlot, right? I wonder if you wants to go for assassin type of mages, perhaps someone that can dive as well. And there's the Arlot that you talked about. Maybe they go for a few hero now. Maybe okay, they go Nana. Wow. Okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense versus the Ruby in a way.
I like it. I mean, the synergy, that's a synergized combo, right? You have the Guinevere and the Arlot, the Demon Gaze being able to proc off the CC your team provides. Having that Violet Requiem from the Guinevere and the Spatial Migration is going to provide that. And we still haven't even got to see what hero is going to be slotted up in the roam position for AP BREN, which is going to also benefit the Arlot to top that off. Not to mention, it procs off the Melina's Blitz from the Nana as well. So I think that's going to be a very scary game into the hands of Flat Teasy if he decides to run this Arlot in the XP lane. Now, for RRQ HOSHI, they're going very strong in the frontline presence, right? We are going to see them pick up this Fredrin. Good to be a bully on the neutral objectives, but may have a little bit of a struggle if the CC is overpressures him. The Ruby may be able to make up for it, though. With how much CC Ruby has in her kit, it definitely works well up against a frontline and dive composition that we are seeing so far from the side of AP BREN.
Yeah. RRQ HOSHI might go and ban out the Clint. I think those are the Clint and Harith are the two heroes that I'm thinking about that could be good for AP BREN. Going up against this Nolan. Harith, you combo that up with a Kaja and then, or any kind of initiation hero for Ogwen so that you have instant burst. Maybe that's the way for you to take out this Nolan. And usually Nolan players go for Purify. So maybe a Suppress is the best option here for AP BREN. And as expected, it's the Clint ban for RRQ HOSHI. Whereas AP BREN now going to be looking for your mages to ban. Oh, but of course, you don't want to give the Benedetta anymore after that game for RRQ HOSHI. You don't give it.
Yeah, you know what else is on the table too? Well, actually, I don't think it'll be picked up, but no, maybe. CC, did C walk? CC did walk.
Not yet. Oh, okay.
It did. So it may need to be
great.
banned out. It could be a pickup from RRQ HOSHI. They could flex the Ruby into the roam position, put CC in the XP, put Fredrin on the jungle. And I think that'd be a pretty solid composition, especially with them having first pick on the second phase of this draft. Would be definitely an asset to their composition that they're drafting so far. For AP BREN, though, they're looking pretty solid. They just need to kind of solidify this with maybe some more Group C. Honestly, they might not even need to go to Group CC. They could go for some sustainability. I mean, they already have the Guinevere and the Arlott and the Nana to top that off. Overall, this is similar to game number 2, where both sides have a very solid draft.
I'm thinking. I'm only thinking 2 heroes now for AP BREN that could left. Kaja, as well as Kaja, as well as maybe the Tigreal. But I think you're more leaning towards the Kaja because you don't want to have an actual tank in the front lines because that will be taken out anyways. I suspect the mage will be the ban here for AP BREN. RRQ just can go back to Aurora. So similar idea for the Vexana. You can output the damage from long distance, have the Ruby as well as this Fredrin front for you. So you're going to be in a much better spot. So apart from the Kaja, something tells me that AP BREN might go back to maybe a... This is crazy, but maybe a Leslie, actually. Because you really need to outrange this Nathan. But, of course, CC controlled by RRQ HOSHI, great pickup. So if either Kaja Beatrix for AP BREN or Kaja Leslie for AP BREN. Obviously, that's a wild idea, but the point is you need to outrange this Nathan in lane so that you can win that matchup.
Another one that might slide through is the Brody. I mean, I don't see the Brody being banned out. It could definitely be a strong pickup. It's been a staple pickup so far in Game of Futures 2024. Able to be very mobile, able to sustain himself, especially against that entropy that the Nathan will drop in with the CC, who we know is going to harass on these objectives, right? It's a lot of mobility, and not just for any player. That's going to be banana. Picking up this CC. If you've seen what he did with the Benedetta in the last game, he was all over the place, creating the opportunity in the XP lane for the difference on the neutral objectives, either being able to help clear the mid lane, providing an extra member to be able to fight in these neutral objectives, and also delaying the other XP laner from keeping up with him. But they're going to go for something like you kind of mentioned, the Beatrix. I think it's a wise decision. We don't get to see the Beatrix too often in Game of Futures 2024, so I'm excited about that. But the last pick was there for AP BREN, and it will be the export.
You really need poke here from RRQ HOSHI. Obviously, the Aurora is there. Maybe they go back to a Farsa, actually, just for them to control this export. But obviously, the Lilia is a much better or a more, I guess, easier hero compared to a Farsa. But you understand the point, right? You need poke. And that is the reason, that is the way you handle the export is via poke. And Lilia just, checks all those, takes all those check boxes. Overall, a great draft again from both teams. Did you notice that this probably is one of the most intense drafts that we've seen in this particular tournament, where every single second we keep on guessing and there are the setups. They dig their bag of tricks, picking up the Beatrix. As I've mentioned, there were only 2 options for them, either the Beatrix or the Leslie. You don't want to go Leslie because it's not the most reliable hero in the game. Beatrix, though, it has a way at least to win against the Nathan. It doesn't necessarily 100% win against the Nathan, but if you play it correctly, you can. Now it's up to execution for both teams.
And into the land of Dawn we go. AP BREN, all the way out from the Philippines, the world champions from 5, looking to make a stand up against RRQ HOSHI from Indonesia. This is a best of 3 all the way to a game number 3. One of these teams will be going home today. One will be moving forward into the grand finals. Who will it be?
It's got to be up to who executes better. And we haven't really talked about the swing coming from AP BREN. We were talking about the Kaja that could be the pick of potential for AP Bren from the roamer role, but you kind of have a pseudo Kaja with a much faster cooldown on the ultimate. That's the Arlet. You only have to wait, what, 20 to 25 seconds maximum level to have that final slash. And that will give AP Bren that leeway. Because the thing with the final slash is it's not a spell that you actually wanna use your purify on. Because the animation is too quick that even if you pop the purify, you're already displaced by your opponent. So in a way, AP Bren have thought of a much better version for Akaja, which, well, that's the reason why they're the world champions. Because they think better than we do. And then they swing this X-Borg as the EXP lane. And many teams will argue that X-Borg is strong in the meta game right now just because of the presence of the CC. It actually wins that matchup.
Yeah, we talked about having a possible plan for the banana split, right? Stopping banana from being able to rotate around. And I think that's a good read from the side of AP Bren to be able to do that. Now, execution is another story. I mean, we know Banana is one of those players that knows how to find the opportunity that the team is looking for. So that is one of the things we're going to have to kind of pay close attention to for the side of AP Bren as the first turtle does spawn in. Some engagement in the mid lane, though. Big knockup over there from Irrad. Appraiser's Wrath finds Ogwin, procs the passive over there from Nana. Few forced to go back. And now the last sanity going out. Flap TZ for a final stand, trying to delay them from taking this. Violet Requiem goes down. Flap TZ finds Irrad. Kyle TZ claims the turtle for AP Bren.
Flap is in trouble, but already damage has been done. He's actually surviving as the Piraga. It is safe for now. Oh, everybody's just so good at playing right now. Even the RRQ HOSHI, after losing that, they look really good in that team fight. And they really challenge AP Bren to their limits. But in the end, it's only one hero that will be able to snag that last hit on the turtle. It's definitely going to be the AP Bren side.
And hey, we're climbing up that ladder. The pressure's only getting higher and the room is only getting hotter. But who will be able to maintain that heat? Will it be Indonesia? Will it be the Philippines? This is the last team from the Philippines currently seeing Blacklist taken down by Fireflux the other day inside of the quarterfinals. And AP Bren still trying to hold that banner high. RRQ HOSHI, though, back on the scene, back to the name change, some new additions, and looking stronger than ever. Both teams currently tied 1-1 on the scoreboard, but AP Bren, with that turtle play, has a little bit of a slight advantage and a 1,000 gold lead.
Super Marco double laning. This is one of the strengths of the Beatrix, just like the Claude, because of the kits. They have unlimited, well, you have 4 weapons to switch from, and you have your teammates to really aid that. Even delaying that top lane for Super Marco to have a much better farm compared to Skylar. Technically speaking, there's also a merit for Skylar to go double lane because he has the ultimate, so he can traverse from top to mid lane very quickly. But RRQ HOSHI are thinking we also need farm on Octa, so we're not gonna sack our mid lane just for our gold lane to have a little bit of extra gold.
Yeah, and speaking of having the advantage, the first kill for the side of AP Bren did go to Flap TZ on this X-Borg in the XP lane. You mentioned it being a great answer over there to Banana, and he's off to a really good start. Irrad, though, able to get a kill of his own inside of the jungle, putting him slightly possibly ahead up against Kyle TZ. But you are seeing the engagement in the mid-river. Fire missiles going out, pulling Octa back, and Ogwin with the dive in will shut him down. And now Irrad trying to join the party. Ogwin trying to get away, trying to expand that distance. Last Sanity to the back line. Almost connecting Flap TZ an inch away, but still getting the kills. Finds Brusco. Ogwin will fall to Banana, but Flap TZ takes down Skylar for the double kill.
Oh my god, Flap. What an amazing way to control this X-Borg. Last Insanity and second Signal to Fire stakes still on point. You can see it through the replay. While another clash is happening. Look at that. He used the second skill while utilizing the ultimate. And well, everybody does that anyways. But the way that he timed it was so good that he caught 2 members of RRQ HOSHI with this additional slows. And unbelievable performance coming out from Flap TZ. Impure Rage X-Borg is the way to go.
Definitely the way to go and in control. You are going to see Skylar top side, finding Super Marco. That will be the marksman falling for the side of AP Bren. A little bit of a trade back for RRQ HOSHI, trying to even out this scoreboard, not trying to give AP Bren control of the early phase. We know this is pivotal to both sides if they want to be able to win this, is the early game. So far, both teams putting out a great fight. Contest On to the top side, though. Violent Requiem, Spatial Migration from KAZAN catches Brusco. Few will do the last hit and take him down. Down will fall the turret in the top side as well. And it looks like RRQ HOSHI will disengage.
Yeah, they got a turtle, so that's good. But however, they will lose one of their members. And Flap TZ just casually pops the ultimate. Well, local done ultimate anyways at this point. You're not that scared. And they will try to push up top.
Yeah, gonna push up top. Final slash on the Skylar. Kyle TZ able to close the distance, deal the last hit to take him down. That's a response back from earlier with Super Marco falling. And now they're going to try and proxy this lane. They want to be able to open up this map in their favor, especially losing their tier 1 turret so far. And it looks like they may be able to do that. Brusco not in a position to contest. Hit with the Spatial Migration, Violent Requiem, and Super Marco will go ahead and take him down. And the turret will fall as well in hands for AP BREN.
So we can see the full showcase of how Arlet counters these Purify-based heroes because of the local then ultimate Final Slash. And like I said, even when you pop the Purify on Final Slash, it wouldn't matter because the animation is too quick that you're already displaced. That's exactly what happened to Skylar. Then after the Purify threshold or duration is, because that's a very short duration, like what, 0.5 seconds, 0.2 seconds, that means that the stun now coming out from Ogwen as the Arlet is going to be even more difficult to deal with. They want to go for Flap, but can they take the expert this time? No.
Ooh, I mean, Flap definitely going for that MVP. He's looking for it. He's gunning for it. 4-0-0 so far. Half of the kills from the side of AP BREN were dealt by him. Super Marco will be able to claim a turret on the bottom side, and AP BREN able to turn this game into their favor. Now leading by 5,000 gold.
Yeah. Looking really scary and looking really dicey now for RRQ HOSHI. But we always have to talk about the late game because this is still Nathan. Nathan is Nathan. End of the day, if he survives the initial flurry from AP BREN, he's going to be able to turn it around with Purify as well as the ultimate for a little bit of cleanse. And the damage output from the Nathan late game is actually pretty good. However, AP BREN, what they did to counter the Purify and the Cleanse is to just overload with a lot of crowd control. Like a lot of crowd control sources. Mini crowd control sources kind of answers Purify-based heroes because you have low cooldown, reliable knockdowns or stuns or knockups or anything that committing a Purify for one spell, you'll always have to think about that. Should I commit for the Purify just to get out, or should I wait for the big ticket ultimates?
Ooh, speaking of big things, Final Slash in the mid lane. Few will find Brusco.
Flap.
Good assist over there from Ogwen. Super Marco will claim for Flap TZ. We'll go ahead and take down Octa. On fire so far, and Skylar off of the map on the bot side. We'll go ahead and claim a turret for the side of RRQ HOSHI to try and catch up in this economy.
Oh my god, what is Flap on? He's just activated in this game. Really good calculations on this hero. He knows the limits of this hero. Now he has immortality. Remember, in those aggressive moves that he did 9 minutes before, he didn't have the immortality then, and he was already a problem. What more will you ask for from Flap TZ? He's gonna be destroying RRQ HOSHI. He's going to be zoning them out. And the positioning was just so perfect. The way that he maneuvers with the footwork on this X-board allows him to dodge some of the spells, but also like reach to the backlines, like maximum from his fire missiles. It's really on point with this X-board now.
Yeah, and AP BREN is definitely leaning on his rotations, opportunities creating. Speaking of opportunity, though, triple taunt in the mid lane for AP BREN. Irad will find Super Marco. That'll be one member falling for AP BREN. Flap TZ will find Skylar to respond. A 1-for-1 trade. Both marksmen's off the table. Can they get another, though? Who will lead this advantage in this engagement? Banana will find Ogwen. 2 members down for the side of AP BREN. And it looks like they will have to disengage into the mid lane. RQ HOSHI, though, they don't have their marksman. They do have their retribution. But I don't know if they can really contest this Lord just yet. They may want to kind of wait it out a little bit before taking this fight. But they are off to a really good start. And this is still, I would say, considered a stalemate between both sides.
Yeah.
It's still anybody's game, but some great execution from both teams.
And great execution from Brusco this time with the Conceal Flicker play. Really surprising AP BREN really off guard. And don't run Wolf King with the ultimate. Connecting onto 3 members or 2 members of AP BREN. Quickly followed by Irad with a taunt. So That's really great combos coming out from RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, and if you weren't a fan of Indonesia or the Philippines, you definitely should be now. As look at both of these teams fighting their hearts out, trying to claim a spot inside of the grand finals. AP BREN currently holding that title as the world champions, the best in the world, winning M5. RRQ Hoshi rising to the occasion with some new additions to the team, ready to take the fight and earn that title. Down to the wire, best of 3, game number 3. One team will be sent home today as we are now crossing that 11-minute mark, and both teams getting ready to fight it out at this Lord.
Yeah, great minion wave control from RRQ Hoshi. There's a slow push in the bottom lane, and then they cleared out up top. So they actually have the advantage now in this Lord Dance.
Yeah, and there goes the advantage they're looking for. Ogwin rushes in. We'll be able to get out with the mobility provided over there from this R-Lot. Baptiste, though, getting to the front line, being a little bit of a nuisance. Dealing a lot of damage on the chase on a Brusco, commits to it. We'll shut him down with the last insanity. Now needs to get back. He does not have the Paraga armor. Look at the Lord, though. 25% HP. Baptiste uses spatial migration to close the distance, gets the retribution. Super Marco takes down Irad, and the Lord goes to AP BREN.
Oh, man. Never, ever sleep on an X-Borg. Like, Brusco overstayed in front of the X-Borg. And at this point, with Flap being 7-0-2, of course he's going to deal the damage. And they really got cooked by this X-Borg. Brute Force Breastplate as well as Borax, and then Radiant Armor. Now he has got staying power up against Skylar as well as Octa. This Flap TZ X-Borg is immortal, I gotta say, at this point. 12 minutes in, 9.2k. If you compare that to the CC 6.7k, that's how massive the advantage here is for Flap. And he was definitely the reason why AP BREN recovered in that Lord Dance, because Brusco literally got cooked by his fellow Filipino Flap TZ.
And a big boost from that for the side of AP BREN. Now able to claim the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Looks like they're going in for a little bit more, though, on the top side. Now leading by a lot of turrets, and also ahead, like you mentioned, by gold. Now, RRQ Hoshi forced to be a little bit more defensive now. Can definitely say AP BREN is in control of the tempo of this game, but the later this goes, the more of a stalemate it will be, and that's what RRQ Hoshi is going to kind of bank on, right? They're waiting for AP BREN to make a slight mistake, maybe somebody to overextend, to be able to turn this around, and they're definitely a team that can rise up to the occasion. Now, so far, with this lead in favor for AP BREN, they're going to have to kind of be patient, wait it out for this next objective. I mean, they do have some great mobility on their side, and Flap TZ to be a little bit of that frontline presence they're looking for. And RRQ Hoshi having a really hard time finding an answer to him. I mean, the man has not died yet. He's 7-0-2. Even when the full team commits on him, not only does he sustain himself, but he finds a way to get a kill alongside it.
Yeah, somebody has to burst down Flap TZ, actually. Like, if he wants to go for those plays where he actually utilized first kill in front of RRQ Hoshi, there has to be some sort of punish. Maybe Skylar commits actually at the ultimate just to take out of Flap TZ and just put AP BREN in an awkward spot. But then again, Skylar is kind of scared that there could be an initiation coming up from Ogwin as well as Kyle. So that's also a problem that he has to take care of. But the main problem now, definitely for RRQ Hoshi, is Flap. It's a canon event, again, for AP BREN.
Yeah, and you're looking at them getting ready, starting to go ahead and take control of these lanes, prepping for this next Lord to spawn in. And RRQ Hoshi, looks like they may actually try and go in for the contest. I mean, they are down in terms of economy, but the later this game goes, everybody's going to be getting closer and closer to that late build. You're seeing the Divine Glaive picked up from Skylar. Speaking about late game items, we'll have that magic pin. Now, at the 15-minute mark, Luminous Lord spawns in, and AP BREN will pull the aggro. Do we see RRQ Hoshi respond? It looks like they will. They are going to go in for the contest.
There it is. The commitment of the Flap. They forced the ultimate already.
Yeah, he is very low. Needs to get out of there. We talked about somebody needing to burst him down when it Truncheon picked up by Super Marco, getting ready to take this fight into the Lord pit. Nobody has fallen yet. Lord at about 50% HP. Kyle TZ gonna go ahead and pull it away. A little bit of a reset for some regen on the Lord, trying to delay and do this Lord dance. Some smart move from the side of AP BREN. They know they want to bait out some of the utility from the side of RRQ Hoshi, wait for an ultimate to proc that they can profit on to be able to engage.
Well, watch out for AP BREN's rotation with Super Marco as well as Super Marco as well as Ogwin. A 1-5 position. They're your position 1 and your position 5 going for the conceal play. Might go for that snipe. You gotta be careful if you're Skylar.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful. AP BREN still in position to take this. Very patient, and I got to give credit to both sides on how they are waiting for the other side to make a mistake, but these are very high IQ plays. They're just waiting. This is the lore dance we've been talking about that has been in the Land of Dawn for ages, especially on this level of competition. The Philippines and Indonesia, two of the most competitive regions in MLBB history, now fighting it out, raising those banners high. Flapteezy, though, is going to use that Braga armor, rushing in. Does take some serious hits. Entropy may come out. You're going to see Few find a kill, though. Shuts down Irad. That is huge. Is now RRQ HOSHI does not have the retribution.
And what we talked about, the position 1 and position 5 for AP BREN, the 1-5 punch from the long bush of AP BREN, it paid off. They waited for 2 minutes. But because of their patience, they took out Irad with that combo. And now, massive advantage for AP BREN, but Kyle is low.
Yeah, he wants him. He knows. He has the retribution.
Oh, no.
He wants him.
Oh,
no! Super Marco takes him down. 2 members falling for RRQ HOSHI. Still looking at a 5-man stack. Out from the Philippines, AP BREN still in control of this neutral objective, and it looks like they are going in for the take. Ogwin will take down Octa. Super Marco finds Brusco, Skylar, and Irad wondering where did we go wrong. Now need to get out of there, but AP BREN on the chase for the kill. Few takes down Skylar, and another will fall as Super Marco with the mega kill will go ahead and shut down Irad. A full wipeout against RRQ HOSHI.
They can go straight for the juggler this time. They have Beatrix, one of the fastest siegers out there, and there's only Banana that can defend this. Banana going in and chasing Kaltizi, trying to go for the hero plays, but unfortunately wasn't successful, and now he's taken out. That should be it. AP BREN will take this series for sure.
Yeah, able to claim this game and keep the Philippines inside of Game of Futures 2024 as they move on as the first seat in the grand finals.
What a Lord Dance. It was definitely a variation this is definitely a different variation of a Lord Dance, right? You can see that the side of AP BREN parked both Super Marco as well as Ogwin in that long bush. And when I'm talking about the long bush, it was the bush nearest to the bottom lane. So it was that very long curve. They waited in the bush for more than 2 minutes. And they were just waiting for an opportunity. When there was an initiation coming out from the Frederick, because what they do is they allow the Guinevere to chunk the Lord down. So somebody has to check that Lord. Somebody has to check the health of the Lord. When Irad showed himself, and Brusco was already mind sweeping, actually. He was looking for someone from the L bush as well as the newest, the new bush. And he didn't find any. Irad felt comfortable putting himself in front of the Lord, and the conceal play from both Ogwin and Super Marco paid dividends. All they had to do was just really pop the ultimate onto Irad, and Irad was gone. Just like that. And AP BREN played that Lord Dance in a different manner, but perfectly in that manner.
Yes, flawless execution. Both sides putting on an amazing show, but like we said in the beginning, only one team will be able to move forward, and that'll be the first team out from Indonesia, knocked out. We still are looking at Onyx holding that banner high for them. We will be seeing their game up next. AP BREN able to move on forward, the first team to make it into the grand finals. And I would definitely say that was Flapteezy's game.
Definitely.
We talked about him having an answer over there to Banana, and they found it. You run the CC, no problem. I'll just counter it and do it a little bit better on the rotations. And he was able to pull it off. Not only was he frontlining majority of the damage, but look at him. Getting to the back line, pressuring the side of RRQ HOSHI from taking these neutral objectives, creating the opportunity for AP BREN to have the advantage, which led overall with them winning this series.
Oh, this was the play from Banana. Tried to go for Kyle, but Kyle's just baited him out easily. And Kaltizi knew the limits of his hero. There's no one to damage him because they already zoned out Skylar. So when Brusco shows himself here, Kaltizi just jumps there, pops the Requiem, and then is still in retry range. Well, he didn't He didn't have the retribution, but that's the point, right? They're still in range to take that Lord. And then they found Skylar just trying to his best, is desperately to go for a pick-off or maybe last hit the Lord or something. Again, another hero play. So every time that there's a hero play, there's an easy punish coming out from RRQ, Hoshi. And if you're a Filipino, you can hear Flap, I'm sure. He says,
Yeah, you
I
can
love
definitely
you.
tell.
Yeah, you
They
can
are
really
super hyped.
yeah. He said, I love you. 100%. That's what he said.
Well, I definitely know there's a lot of love out there in the Philippines for AP BREN right
Oh,
now. As
sure.
they put on a show, able to close out the series. And there it is. The man with the plan stepping into the zone and doing his thing. Flap Teasy, a well-deserved MVP.
Oh, yeah. I think that deserves no explanation. The impact that he had in that game from the early stages was so well done. 9 minutes. It was the reason why BREN Esports were winning in first 9 minutes of the game. Majority is because of how Flap positioned himself and how he poked his enemies so well. And then in the first Lord, or was it the second Lord? But there was a Lord where Brusco. Eventually, RRQ already found a triple jump with Brusco, but on the reset of the fight, what happened was they overstayed in front of the X-Borg. That's why they got cooked. And sometimes you don't really feel the damage of the X-Borg until it's far too late, when he already stacked up so much on you.
Yeah, and as we are now panning over to this amazing game, you're looking at both teams fighting it out. That was RRQ Hoshi. Not able to claim game 3, but they put on a good fight, right? They lost game 1. They tried to pull out the Layla, the $1 million Layla that we seen yesterday, able to kind of, or we seen the other day, claiming victory up against Deus Volts. Not the same story going up against the world champions AP BREN. It looked like they kind of planned for it, and they executed pretty well, definitely over pressuring them, running that Ruby, denying the Kufra, the setups he was looking for, and finding a way to kind of shut down Skylar. And then game number 2, AP BREN, not able to rise to the occasion, and RRQ Hoshi evening out the playing field. They were able to play something a little bit more comfortable. The Nana running the Benedetta, able to rotate around and able to equalize this series. But then game number 3, Flat Teasy. I don't know what they said to him in the locker room, but it's working. Keep on doing it. And I expect some great things in the grand finals. They will move on forward, shutting down RRQ Hoshi with an amazing game.
There was that factor of the Beatrix in this game where you probably forget about what the strength of the Beatrix is because of how much nerf there was on that hero, and